Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy. When we last left off, we were here in Dimholt, standing before the dark door, leading to the paths of the dead. And we had been talking to Horn, who had came up here. We compared it to coming up and seeing the Great Wall in Game of Thrones. He had always wanted to see the Dark Door, but had no intention of going any further, or me either at the moment. So he has tasked us with bringing back the orc sigils and the warg teeth that we had collected back to Ellen Fremedon, back there in Underharrow, and showing her that yes, that she and her people do not stand alone, that there is help coming her way, that the problems of Rohan are the problems of everyone in Rohan, and that she has people who will not just abandon her no matter what she thinks. So we're going to head back that way. I'm going to ride back down through Dunharrow and back down that winding path and through the encampment, and I will see y'all when we get back to her down there in Underharrow. Little glitch there's it loaded in terrain, so I will see y'all again very shortly. Let's see, what time is it? It is the gloaming. Alright, I'll see y'all again in just a few seconds here whenever we make our way back to Ellen. Ride back down in Kingstead, down from the top of the hill all the way up there where Dunharrow and the Dimholt are. Just coming into Underharrow here. Passing the forge and the blacksmith over there on the left. Ahead of us, we are going to have Miss Ellen. She is straight on up the hill. Let's go on and talk to her, give her the items that we have collected, see if that will encourage her and make her feel that all is not quite as bad as she seems to thought it was. Come on up to Miss Ellen Fremedon. Let's take a look at these. Do we have anything? Did we look at those? Yeah, the sharpened warg teeth, sharpened, unusually sharpened by some implement, and carved from bone in the shape of a boar skull. And indeed, that's what we saw the orcs seem to be, what we saw the orcs wearing on their heads.
What are these? What have you brought me? Are these teeth?
Her expression changes from disgust to admiration as you recount your battles against the orcs and wargs in Harrowdale. I did not ask you to do this. I offered no reward, and yet still you campaigned against the creatures on my behalf. I do not know what to say, Gnarlo. After my husband Dunhair rode to fight alongside his king, I believed no one would give a thought to the troubles of Harrowdale, and yet you did. Thank you, Gnarlo. I hope you did not take offense earlier. I spoke from a place of despair, but you have given me reason to hope. If there are more burglars like you in this land, perhaps Harrowdale will yet be made safe for the folk of Edoras, if the battle for Rohan ends not in a victory. Talk to Horn by the entrance to Underharrow. All right.
Perhaps I misjudged you.
I did not expect you to put yourself in danger for the good of Harrowdale, Gnarlo. Perhaps I have misjudged you. Indeed you have. Now, the entrance to Underharrow. Which one is that going to be? I'm assuming it's going to be the one down here toward the Edoras side. I mean, technically it's got an entrance that way, but the only way that you can come from that way is if you've already gone up that way. So, presumably that would count more as an exit, maybe? Let's see. Hello, Horn.
We have delivered the message. It is now time to move on to the next stage of our duty.
Chapter 2, Too Near to Dunharrow. Horn listens with amusement as you recount Ellen Fremedon's grateful acknowledgement of the help you provided to her people. Are you surprised by the Lady of Harrowdale's transformation? You should not be. There is no more certain way to attain the friendship of a ruler than helping ease the problems of the ruled. We are all of us on the same side now. Only Saruman gains to profit if we squabble amongst ourselves. If we have delivered the message and we have somehow eased its sting, it is time to move on to the next stage of our duty. Alright, let's see which one of these. Are we going to get the Wrap of the Dark Door, the Cloak of the Dead, or the Oathbreaker's Cloak? So we are looking for agility and vitality, correct? And that one gives us will and vitality and might and vitality. So the Cloak of the Dead looks like it's going to be the one. Light armor, ooh, look at there. It goes from 89 agility to 204, 120 vitality to 234. Yep, that's the one. Finish it now.
Eomer wished for us to travel to the home he left behind.
Before we continue on there, let's go ahead and look at, is this my actual equipment that I'm wearing? I think it is. Is this the equipment? Yep, that's the actual equipment outfit right there. So, it's like so many of the other things. I'm sure I've mentioned it before. I'm absolutely positive I've mentioned it before. But at one time, there was, this would be about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a company that you could send in screenshots of your World of Warcraft character. It could be Hero Forge. That might be it. You'd send in screenshots of your World of Warcraft character, and they would make a miniature of it that looked just like the character. And y'all remember I've talked about Penny Arcade before. It was either Tycho or Gabe, one or the other, gave that gift to the other person, and they were like, oh, thanks a hell of a lot. And it's like, what do you mean? And he says, well, now I'm going to have to grind. And he says, no, you don't have to grind for nothing. Just send in your character. And he says, oh, yeah, this is what my character looks like. And they showed a picture of his character, and it looked a lot like this. It was a bunch of mismatched, terrible armor. There was like a horn. It was all made up, of course, but there was a helmet with like an arrow through it. There was a cod piece that was a big furry like teddy bear on the front of it, and there was one shoulder piece was like an angel wing. The other was a spike. It looked horrible, and it's like, you know, I'm wearing the outfit that actually gives me the best stats on every piece. Now I've got to grind and get an outfit that actually looks good, so my character won't be ridiculous. Let's take a look and see what the. Is that the new cloak? So is that Dolan Clog? What does it look like if we... Let's go to this cloak. That's the Cloak of the Dead there, I think. Okay. Let's drop the Cloak of the Dead onto our equipment. There we go. I think that's what the equipment's going to look now, right? Yes. Alright, that's not a bad cloak, and I like the cloaks when I wear them. I like the ones that come with the hoods that are up like that. That is really nice. That really helps for a burglar. But of course, we're going to continue wearing our Gnarlo outfit here, because no one suspects a burglar who's dressed up like one of the Artful Dodger's children, do they? Alright, Chapter 3, in Eomer's Absence. Wow, okay, that's a travel. I was about to say they're giving us an orange quest, level 89, but that's actually travel to the entrance of Aldburg in the Eastfold. So maybe, just maybe, I have to remember we want to sell the Dolan Clog too. No point in throwing it anywhere because it's actually bound to us. It's not bound to the account, of course. It'll just clog up our inventory, and God knows we got enough stuff doing that already, don't we? Hopefully this is just overcon because it's a travel. We've discussed travel cons giving you far more experience than they should in the past. Legendary item leveled up. We have done as Eowyn asked, and now we should fulfill our obligation to her brother as well. Eomer wished for us to travel to the home he left behind, that we may see how it fares in his absence. That home is Aldburg in the Eastfold. It was once the seat of power in Rohan before the king took up residence in Edoras. Now it is the home of Eomer, and it is natural for his mind to dwell on its well-being. He spoke of Arsel its steward as a man of good motive, but of short reach to accomplish such lofty aims. Perhaps when we arrive, we will see where Arsel has exceeded his master's expectations. Perhaps so. So we will go there. All right, we need to travel to Aldburg. All right. And let's see where Aldburg would be. It's going to be in the Eastfold. That's the Westfold. It's the Eastfold over here. So we're going to have to come. We came through the Antwade. So yeah, we're going to have an actual travel mission today. We're going to have to ride back by Edoras, come back here, and instead of turning north back to the lands we used to go, we will go down here to the Eastfold. And once we do that, we will travel along, and it will be the first part to the south. So we are going into an area we have never been in before. in Rohan or anywhere else in this game. Here in the Eastfold. And over here's the Beacon Hills. Nice. Cool. So we will see the Beacon Hills at one point in time, but you can notice it will be a while, because you notice when the expansion, the Minas Tirith and all the Gondor expansion and all came in. You see how the mapping changed there. Okay. So that is where we are going to go. Before we get started on it, I am going to go grab a cup of coffee and head off and go see a man about a horse right quick. Yeah, that's the ticket. And I will be back with y'all in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, I have returned. Let's go ahead and mount back up. We'll take the steed of Mickle Delving so that we can use the lights and all on it. It is continuing to go into night. Gloaming has turned into evening. So let's get traveling here. We are going to make the round, circle around Edoras there, and then head to the south. Head to the south and then to the east, so we can go to the Eastfold and head closer on over toward the roads to Gondor and the path to Minas Tirith. And let's hope that once we get over there, we see some of these quests come down and get a little bit closer to level 86 and all, rather than that level, I think, 89 one that the travel is, but it should just be a bit overconned, should be all. I don't know how far overconned it is, but it should just be overconned. It's just the travel stuff. Always one thing, it just, as we've said before, encourages you to move on along here. It has been a little while since I played. I have been at work. It's been a busy few days at work here, and then we had told y'all I got a new dog and been enjoying the time. Instead of being at my house, I've been spending all my time over at my wife's house so that the dog can get used to the both of us. Oh, look at there. Great. We passed by this way last time and we saw the people out here. We saw the fishing vendor, the fisherman, but we didn't see the people actually fishing, did we? Let's give them a cheer, because I like seeing people fish and do that sort of thing. I like seeing people do stuff other than just running around killing stuff. Better than the D&D style of murder hobo, you know? It's nice to see people actually role-playing and doing things. I don't know if maybe they were doing it for a quest, but it was good to see them actually doing something. Actually putting their fishing to good use. But yeah, we've got the dog. His name is Leo, and is an absolutely adorable dog. Eyes, beautiful eyes. She is just a charmer. She will absolutely just steal your heart. And she is fitting in very, very well. Absolutely loves us, loves my wife. Just goes into just a tail wagging fury every time my wife walks in the door or comes back from a trip or something like that. Just wags her tail and comes up and licks on her and rolls over for her belly to be scratched. Just absolutely adores her. So I am glad to see that, especially since she'll be spending 99% of her time with my wife, you know. My wife is retired, so she doesn't have to get up and go to work several days a week like I do. But yeah, I've been spending the last few days all my time over there so that I can get her used to me as well. And she does the same. I mean, she loves me too, comes up and licks my face and barks and wags her tail and rolls over, but not nearly as much as the wife does. Of course, I think it's also because I don't sneak her snacks nearly as much as the wife does, you know? I've been talking to her and going, you know, honey, the vet has said it's a rescue dog. Got it from the humane shelters, the adoption. It was a fostered with a family. And told my wife, you know, the vet said that the dog needs to lose about 10 or 15 pounds. The vet didn't say the dog needs to gain 10 or 15 pounds. So please quit feeding it all the time. Which might be why it loves my wife so much more. But yeah, so that's what's had me occupied. But I think as my wife gets more used to it, my wife's never had a dog. I have. I've had a long string of dogs. I grew up with dogs and as a child and had dogs at the horse farm that I lived on and all this other stuff. And, you know, just tons and tons of pets and dogs and everything. My wife had a couple of cats when she was younger, but she's never had one while she was older, when she was an adult, and never had a dog. So all of this is new to her. And she has fallen in love with it as much as it's fallen in love with her. So I am very happy about that as well. But having to teach her stuff like, well, what about when both of us leave? What about when you've got to go to work and I've got to go to the store or something? What do I do? Do I take her to the vet, or is there places do I need to find a friend that can keep her? I said, honey, calm down. It's you know, I've told you, whenever we got it, we talked about how it was going to be a time commitment and all. It was kind of like having a child, and it would be a time commitment. But I didn't mean that literally like a child. Yeah, it's going to be, you know, you got to take care of it. You got to take it to the vet. You got to feed it. And you got to love it and spend time and all that. But it can be left alone for a few hours at a time. It's okay. So she's learning. We're getting there. And once she gets more used to it, then maybe I will be able to spend more of my free time back over here. Once she is more acquainted, I'll be able to spend my free time back over here and get some more stuff done. Like I'm gonna get G-Bub out. We're gonna do a trucking video here in just a little while, as soon as I get this done. So, because I am at my house tonight, I'm back over at my place instead of staying with the wife, and we have got flames coming up here. So we will see how much time I get to do things now. Now that we are in brand new lands, is when we turn back there. Show the map. When we turned here, when we turned to the south, we were doing brand new roads now. That way led back to the Entwade. If we took the north, way up yonder way. Let's see, is this burning farmhouses maybe? Because I do remember lots of burning places. Closer we got to Gondor, the more stuff seemed to be on fire, the more stuff seemed to be, a bunch of dead Rohirrim, burning wagons. This is not good. This is not good at all. Wow. Guards dead, women dead, men dead. Are there any children dead? Have they put dead children out here? I wouldn't be surprised. Looks like some younger folk. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. Alright. Well, things aren't necessarily great out toward the direction of the Eastfold here. A roving warg. Let's pass it by at the moment, because we are just trying to get further along. More dead horsemen and a horse and its rider. We're just trying to get over here to Alderburg. Alright, we have entered the Eastfold now. Things do not seem to be going very well out this way. It does not look like fleeing to the east was a correct direction to go in. We've already seen a white warg. We've seen a yellow boar back yonder. Here's another smashed wagon. At least it doesn't look like we have any dead bodies around this one, so maybe the people got away for this one. It is nice to get into Rohan here, though. Okay, is this a rally circle? Yep, a rally circle and some Erlinga Skarn. It is nice to... One part about Rohan I like is... What am I looking at right up here? Just some kind of structure over there. what do we have over there? East Rohan. So that could possibly be... Snowborn? Ah, that's Snowborn over there. Okay, didn't realize we were in that. That's where we first met. I met Horn and possibly Eomer. There, I think that was, yeah, because we were doing stuff trying to get the Thane of Snowborn, trying to get their attention and go, you know, things are a lot more serious out here than you think they are. And Snowborn is not going to be, just because Snowborn is this mighty until remnant of Gondor. Because remember, these lands used to belong to Gondor back in the day, and it was Eorl. Eorl? Is that his name? I think it was Eorl, the first of the kings of the Rohirrim, who rode to Gondor's defense against orcs and was granted all these lands as a reward for his people, and this became the Kingdom of Rohan. So that's a lot of the old Gondor territory, Gondor architecture and stuff up here. More overturned and scattered wagons and cargo. Looks like the boars and stuff up this way are yellow as well, so it's going to be good that we've only got a little bit further before we ding up to level 87. Now, I think we continue going south here. Is that correct? Yep, continue going south. That is the road to the Fen March and the Beacon March, going that way. And we are going to go this way. I've never been down this way on Glennoran before. I told you whenever Minas Tirith came into the game that I rode all these lands at a desperate pace on my steed, trying to get down through here and go through the Beacon Hills and travel along here, desperately trying to get on over here to Minas Tirith whenever he first made the journey, and he was about Gnarlo's level, I guess, maybe a little higher. I mean, maybe a little lower, maybe 79 or 80 whenever that happened. So we have been through that area over there with him, of course, but not on camera and not anything I remember about. It was just quickly running as fast as we could, trying to stick to the road and avoiding everything along the path. Where is Alderberg? Heavy walnut branches. Yep, I've got to do that as well. That's another thing I've got to do. As soon as I am able to devote more time to being at home, we got to work on those crafting skills. I know y'all have heard me say it many times. So, more ruins of the old Gondor realm here. It's kind of like being in the Shire in Bree, where you see the ruins of Arthedain. The old ruins of the northern kingdom of Arnor, scattered all about in the Shire and Bree. Same kind of thing here in Rohan. You see the old ruins of whenever Gondor used to rule these lands, scattered about. New deed, Eastfold exploration, Aldburg. Let's pull it up and see if this is going to be an actual deed that will have stuff. Rohan is the home to many great cities and settlements. You have discovered Aldburg. Nope, same kind of thing. It's not giving us any kind of flavor text. It's the one part of this particular expansion that I am most unhappy with. Is that, you know, they don't do the flavor text. Let's sit here and do a quick sweep around Aldburg like we would have done back in the day if we had flavor text to actually read as we go. And we'll say Aldburg. Aldburg is the first little town you come across off on a side road here in the Eastfold, and it was the home of Eomer. He's asked us to come down here and see what's up. So there you go. Get my UI turned back on. Is there anything out here that we need to look at while we pass through? Nope. I like it seems to be fairly well defended. Let's talk to Horn. Excuse me a moment.
We have arrived at Eomer's home of Aldberg. It looks... well...
Horn looks around, and his normally diplomatic and open face is uncharacteristically clouded with disappointment. I have never been to Aldberg before, but it does not appear as I've always pictured it. The walls are crumbling, and the buildings have fallen into disrepair. I do not think the town was in this state when Eomer left for Edoras. Let us walk through the city and see if my first impression is mistaken. So we're going to look at the buildings in the southwest corner, talk to Pada in the southwest corner, look at the buildings by the Mead Hall, and talk to Terwild in the Aldberg. Okay, look at the buildings in the southwest corner. Okay, so southwest is going to be that way. Let's take a look around while we're here. Get Horn off the screen. Doesn't seem to be all that bad. Before we go anywhere, let's grab the stable master up here. We got a milestone as well. One of the old-fashioned milestone. Well, new-fashioned milestone. It's not one of the tall pillars, but it's not just the plinth. You know, it's the stone plinth with a brazier, but it's got horses on the corners and shields on the side. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, stable master.
I do not know if we will survive this onslaught.
Where do you give us rides to? Osgiliath, once we do after battle. South Bree, okay. So maybe we get a ride back from, maybe South Bree will ride back here as well. The 21st Hall of Moria, good. And a good number of places in Rohan, like Edoras. All right, we can go to Dale. We can go to Gondor, places in Gondor, very good. All right. So we need to go to the southwest and examine the crumbling buildings and the crumbling walls and see if we can find this person. Yeah, look at these houses in disrepair. These guys mean vines on it as my house does. That's one thing I gotta do. I got all this English ivy. Oh, I don't know who the hell brought English ivy over here, but I've got all this English ivy crawling up front of my house that I have got to pull down and chop down off my house. The building is in poor repair and seems near to falling down. Well, it's not in poor repair and not falling down, but yeah, I got a lot of summertime work or fall work winterizing I need to do. My house don't look nothing like this. It's got ivy on it, but it ain't missing boards out of the side. And I bet holes in the roof. Those aren't there either. Let's talk to Pada.
Aldberg has seen better days, friend.
Aldberg has seen better days, friend. If Eomer were here, he would do something about it. He is a way of helping Theoden King with more serious problems. I cannot put the well-being of my home over that of the kingdom. It may seem more pressing to me, but I know what is really at stake. Still, I wish Arthur would do something about these buildings. A stiff breeze might be enough to knock several of them down, and then where would we be? We've done that, now we need to look at the buildings by the Mead Hall. Now this is... what is that? Is that the Crafters Guild? Or is that the Auction House? That's the auction house, yeah. Should have known it when I saw the gavel there. So that's the auction house. We know where that is now. Is that anything other than... nope, just a building to look at. Alright. Oh, it looks like the vault was back there too. So, yep, vault, auctioneer, and the mailbox are all inside. And it's nice. That's something they used to not do. It used to be you didn't have all the... like the NPCs wandering around. Hello, nurse. Okay, let's come on up this way. Look at the buildings in disrepair up this way as well. I thought I saw a ring on my map a second ago. Even the Mead Hall doesn't look like it's in the best of shape either, does it? This building is in very poor repair. Indeed it is. Hello, Tyrwill. What are you over there? You are a Forge and Relic Master. Okay, I'll be needing to see you shortly. Before we come in again, I have got several relics that need to be broken down. They have maxed out. Not relics,
There is
legendary
work
items
to be done here.
that need to be broken down. So I will take care of that because I picked up several more that I need to have slots to start leveling them up. And got several that I don't use. They're below me, but they've maxed out, so. Can you wield a mallet? Can you set timbers? For those are the abilities we need in Alba. Our buildings are falling apart around our ears, and none of the craftsmen will listen to Arsel's words of admonishment. His father would knock them into line, but alas, Arkenbreach is now gone, and the strength of will does not seem to have passed from father to son. Eomer will set things all right, but he is busy with the troubles in the wider land, and none here fault him for that. He is the treasurer of the Eastfold, and we will not deprive the kingdom of our greatest son. Now talk to Arsel inside the mead hall. We will do that, and then I think that will be the end of our adventure today. I like the memorial there, with blowing the horn of, maybe the horn of Gondor, or maybe the horn of the riders or something. Very nice set of statues there. Let us continue on in. Looks almost like we're coming back into Bree with all these banners with boar heads on it. I think we found the part of Rohan here that likes boars as much as Breeland does. Let's go on in. All right. Nice cut screen. I don't remember seeing that one before. Into another beautiful, wonderful big mead hall. This one with soldiers and people actually inside of it. Very nice. Much better than the bare ones we've seen before with just the women, the women, the widows, the young children, and the men too old to fight. Hello, Arsel.
Do you bring word from Edoras? Is Eomer preparing to return?
Ah, welcome to Ardburg, Gnarlo. Do you bring word from Edoras? Is Eomer preparing to return? You give Arsel the news that Eomer is riding to war with the king and will not return to the Eastfold until the battle is done. His face falls. Those are poor tidings. I've done my best to keep this city for him, but the people do not listen to my commands, and I fear that I've been a poor steward in his absence. Why, just today I sent a group of craftsmen to repair the outside walls, but they have not returned, and I've heard rumor they drink and feast instead of doing their work. If you can inspire them to work, feel free to make the attempt. You will find them outside the walls, southeast of the town. Find the camp of craftsmen he sent to repair the city walls. Indeed we will, I can guarantee you.
I've sent a group of craftsmen to repair the outer wall, but instead they drink and feast.
None of the people listen to my commands, and it makes my stewardship of Ardburg difficult. Nay, not merely difficult, impossible. Indeed, I'm sure it has. All right, folks, there you go. I am going to help Arsel here help him perhaps be a little bit more little less ill at ease by sharing some pipeweed with him, you know? And help him have a little bit of pleasure here. Okay, that is where we're gonna leave off here for the adventures of Gnarlo. Next time, I guess we will be back at Nomadan. I will get a Nomadan adventure up later, probably tomorrow morning, and then a Narwane adventure the next day, and then I'll be back at work for another 3 or 4 days. So I will see y'all then. In the meantime, I hope y'all have enjoyed it. This was very much more of a travel adventure today, getting to see more parts of Middle-earth and Rohan we haven't seen before. So enjoying that. Hope y'all liked it. Hope you were entertained. We will see you next time, and thank you for coming along. Bye-bye.